and Dave Bishop.
Good Tuesday morning. The Ark is being built as we speak as, another rainy day, Mary.
It's kind of nice though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just in time for me to have our sprinkling system, I thought fixed, and now it doesn't work at all. So I'm pretty grateful for all this rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but I couldn't get it to work. And I thought, even if it works in the rain, I'm just going to leave it alone because it's all set up. But clearly something is amiss, so I'm super glad for all this rain. And I know you are too, because you and everybody else on West Battle Lake, because you need a lot of water there.
Yeah, it just needs to sit over West Battle for like a month.
Yeah. Well, I hope it doesn't go that long, but...
I mean, just over the lake proper. I mean, it just...
Right. We're getting some significant rain out there now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the ditches are kind of deep, and it's been raining pretty steady since about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So I don't know what we're getting in terms of inches, but it must be. It feels like a lot. So anyway, and is it supposed to continue through the day? Kind of.
Let me double check.
Yeah.
Out of all the things I've looked up this morning,
not the weather.
Forecast was not it.
Okay, and then I had to go ask about that. But I thought when I looked at the hourly, it looks like it's going to just stay.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to rain today, tonight, a little bit more tomorrow and tomorrow.
They even said, I read someplace this morning, and I don't know if it was on a weather app or what, that there was a possibility of 2 to 3 inches by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah, they're saying another inch today, another half inch tonight, and another quarter of an inch tomorrow. So.
Okay, so that's pretty significant when we're talking rain and all the needs from the fields and everybody's yards. We're starting to look like it was the middle of July rather than late May. So we could use this, and hopefully things dry out just a little bit before the long holiday weekend. So I can't believe it's almost Memorial Day. And pretty soon we'll be saying, oh my gosh, where did the summer go? It all goes so fast, doesn't it? I can't even believe I said that. That's terrible. Never mind.
Looking at our Weather Spotter Network, brought to you by Lakes Country Roofing and Otter Tail Power Company, we've had an inch yesterday. John Waller, Pelican Rapids, had 9/10 of an inch. Vern Peterson, northeast of Underwood, had an inch. Bill Bardwick, northwest of Battle Lake, had 1.5 inches. And Russell, on his side of town, had 2 inches.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, a lot of rain.
All right. And it's really interesting sometimes when we've got all these reporting stations, all these people who report to us as our weather spotters. It can be so different. We even notice that from one side of the lake to the other. Now, clearly, if it rains on one side, it's going to go in the lake,
Yeah.
But sometimes the other side of the lake will get an inch of rain, and we barely get a sprinkle on our yard. It's so weird. But I suppose it has to begin and end somewhere, right?
I remember one storm that went through, a lot of hail, and my buddy, his dad lived on one side of the road, and then his farm was on the other side of the road. His dad's side of the road got nothing but hail, but it's like right at the road, it stopped.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I've been driving down the highway in rain, and all of a sudden you see a very clear line on the road, and then it's dry. But like I said, has to begin and end somewhere.
Yep.
So anyway, well, take your umbrella and a rain jacket today because you're going to need it. And it's not the kind of sprinkling that you can run from your car into the store or, into work or wherever you're going without getting kind of wet.
You're going to get wet.
Yeah. So, I've got the umbrella is right next to me, and for once I had it in the car at the ready.
Hey, one thing I do want to mention, I should have mentioned it yesterday, but I know we mentioned it a couple times leading up to the event, a great dinner over at Bethlehem. They're setting the Mai.
Oh, great.
So big shout out to that crew. Real easy to do. I was able to drive up, and I got our orders. And
great. So it was a drive up.
There was drive up, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, you could go in or drive up.
Sure.
I chose to drive up because I had to get it for myself, Jen, and Adam.
Well, I talked to a lot of people on, it was Sunday? No, Saturday. Who said, that's what we're having. I'm going to go get dinners to go because that's what we're having. So Hopefully it was very well attended too. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
It is every year. So, all right. Well, do you want to get mad right off the bat?
Why
not? With a story? These kind of stories absolutely just make me so angry. There is a California girls track athlete. Her name is Reese Hogan. She has been receiving all kind of praise on social media over the weekend when she briefly popped up onto the first place marker during the podium ceremony, and she posed for a photo in first place after she lost to a transgender athlete in the triple jump. So she is an athlete from Crean Lutheran High School. She set a personal record and a school record in the triple jump at 37 feet 2 inches during the meet on Saturday. So her own record, a school record, and still she did not receive first place. So she thought, "God darn it, I got first place here in competing with all these other girls, and I'm going to get a photo on the first place podium." Good for her. The transgender athlete from Jerpa Valley High School defeated Hogan by more than 4 feet.
The difference between a guy and a girl.
That's what happens when a boy competes against a girl.
Yep.
And you know what? Does she feel great about standing on the first place podium?
I'm guessing they do.
Because clearly can't make it in the boys' sports.
I'm guessing that person feels phenomenal. They think, hey, I'm sticking it to
4
these
feet.
people.
I mean,
Yep.
this is not even close. Why
No.
are they allowing this? Hogan, with a medal around her neck, smiled as she stepped up to the first place spot once the ceremony was finished. The junior received massive cheers in the video that circulated around social media and praised her as the real champion. I love that. Good for her. Go get 'em. You know what? If you are a biological male, you need to compete with biological males.
Yep.
End. Period. No exceptions. I don't care. If you want to identify as female when you're a boy, go ahead and do that. That's up to you. You do you, but you stay out of girls' sports.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Setting back women's sports completely back to square one. Anyway, so I'd love to hear a story about a girl who's got some guts. And this is a high school kid.
Yeah.
So good for her. Let's see. Remember the people that wanted to get into the ICE facility and see what was happening to the people that they were interrogating? Well, acting U.S., but they didn't, they were trespassing. They weren't supposed to be there, and they forced their way in. So it was labeled trespassing. So acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alina Haba, is charging Representative LaMonica McIver for her alleged misconduct toward law enforcement in front of the Delaney Hall in New Jersey. And this is that ICE facility.
Yep.
Earlier this month, but she is dismissing the trespassing charge against the Newark mayor. I don't know why. Anyway, says Representative LaMonica McIver assaulted, impeded, and interfered with law enforcement in violation of Title 18, and went on with the code number and all that. The conduct cannot be overlooked by the chief federal law enforcement official in the state of New Jersey, and it's my constitutional obligation to ensure that our federal law enforcement is protected when executing their duties. So they got a little bit of, it's a little bit of a slap, I think, but at least they're being called out for their behavior.
And they'll wear that as a badge of honor. They'll campaign with, hey, look what I did.
Right, exactly. Speaking of a bizarre badge of honor, this here we are almost to mark the 5th anniversary since the George Floyd incident that, in my estimation, ruined the city of Minneapolis. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara called out the bizarre progressive ideology that overtook the city of Minneapolis following the death of George Floyd. It's coming up May 25th. The outlet spoke with Minnesota law enforcement and business owners as the city approached the 5-year anniversary next week of Floyd's death, which sparked global protests. Oh boy, do we remember riots.
Oh, yeah.
And a governor of our fair state that said, let the city burn. O'Hara, who previously served in the Newark, New Jersey Police Department, joined the Minneapolis Police Department as chief in November of 2022. Even though he came from a far-left city, O'Hara said he was unprepared for how politicized policing in Minneapolis had become, saying that this liberal mentality had made it difficult for reality and facts to actually break through. He said this, "Here it is very, very ideological, and a lot of times it's like reality and facts can't get through the filter. It's a very detached liberal mentality. It's bizarre," he said.
Yeah.
And boy, couldn't agree more. But boy, still people thinking that was, took a thug off the street. Maybe it didn't happen in the right way. I agree with that. But boy, no reason to just let havoc reign in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minneapolis specifically. But anyway, coming up on 5 years, and I know they're all nervous about what's going to happen in Minneapolis on the anniversary date, which is that Sunday, I think. Yeah. Okay, do you want to know who's to blame for the Navy ship crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge?
I'm guessing Trump.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer said it's Trump's fault. He's saying that some of the cuts that he made affected the Coast Guard. And so that is the reason that the ship crashed.
And again, it was a Mexican ship. It was not an American ship. It was not a Coast Guard ship. It was a Mexican ship.
Yeah, he said, he went on, well, he had lots of crazy things he said. Let's see. He went on to point out that DOGE implemented hiring freeze at the Coast Guard, and he said that could have impeded the Coast Guard's vehicle traffic system, which works in a similar fashion to air traffic control. So now it is definitely President Trump's fault that the ship crashed.
The ship crashed because the ship lost power, and that is Trump's fault.
Right. Mark Levin said this, "Schumer is a stupid, evil man." Of course, he's a conservative radio talk show host, as we know, Mark Levin. He went on to say, "I too question Donald Trump's leadership of the Mexican Navy," Substack writer Jim Treacher posted on X.
Yeah.
So they're just absolutely just making such fun of him. Anyway, so now people are saying that, because of DOGE, that's
the Mexican Navy.
Yeah, that's the reason that the Mexican Navy ship crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. So there must be a way around to blame the Trump administration for just about anything that happens. Let's see. President Trump signed the Take It Down Act into law, criminalizing the non-consensual online posting of sexually explicit images, including AI-generated deep fakes. Violators face prison and fines, with websites required to remove such content within 48 hours of a victim's request. So that'll be good to see that go into effect. Supreme Court blocked the Trump administration from immediate deportations of Venezuelan men accused of gang membership under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Trump expressed frustration over the ruling, which signals a legal setback in his efforts to accelerate deportations of undocumented and, may I add, very, very illegal and very dangerous immigrants. I mean, he's getting the bad guys out of the country, and they are the bad guys. Speaking of bad guys, they had 10 people that escaped from a prison in Orleans Parish, I believe it's called. Yeah. And now they brought back 3. Now they have 1 more, so 6 still on the lam. One of who is a very dangerous man, convicted murderer.
And they even taunted.
Yeah, they wrote a message on the wall before they ducked out that said something about
this was too easy.
Too easy, but T-O, easy, not T-O-O. So, yeah, clearly they didn't get too far in school.
Clearly the prison's education system.
Yeah, not great.
We can blame Trump on that.
Yeah, I'm sure we can blame Trump for that somehow. But anyway, and then they said, catch us if you can, or something like that. But so they had enough time to, write a little taunt on the wall before they took off. So and then one guy goes to the French Quarter in New Orleans. And of course, that's where he's caught. You know, I don't know, stupid criminal stories, I guess, right?
Thankfully, a lot of criminals are dumb.
Yeah, for sure. Thousands of chicks were abandoned in a postal service truck for 3 days in Delaware.
Oh.
Surviving chicks are being cared for by an animal shelter. The Postal Service is investigating the incident as thousands of chicks were left without food and water. Oh, that's sad. The chicks were mistakenly sent to Delaware due to shipping delays. I bet that's the president's fault, too.
Gotta be.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. They say that tick populations are steady.
I was going to say, I've already had quite a few.
Have you? I haven't had any, but I guess I really haven't been anywhere to...
I really wasn't anywhere either. We were out at the softball field videoing
Long
games.
grass?
I was sitting on the bleachers, and all of a sudden I felt one out behind my ear, and I said, where did that come from?
Wow. I just read something about how it takes them I forget the time frame, 30 minutes, or is it longer than that?
I don't know.
To attach.
Oh, okay.
So once they're on you, hopefully you catch them while they're still crawling before they attach. Yuck, I hate ticks. All right. When we come back, 1/3 of Americans will travel just for food, good food. So cross state lines, whatever you got to do to get the right stuff. So maybe that's what your show is all about, getting the right stuff, right? Where to eat. All right, coming up on 9:30, break for the markets. We're back with more on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Did you know you can have high cholesterol without any symptoms? High LDL or bad cholesterol can have a big impact on your cardiovascular health, increasing your risk of a heart attack or stroke. Reduce your risk by knowing your LDL cholesterol level and working with your doctor on a treatment plan. Lowering your LDL cholesterol today can help you enjoy a healthier tomorrow. Visit the American Heart Association at heart.org/LDL to learn why lower is better.
Hey, Twins fans, it's Chris Atterbury. Last night's ball game was suspended due to the inclement weather in the Twin Cities, but we're going to play, well, not two, but a game and a half tonight. We will resume the suspended ball game at 5:10 today. We'll be on the air at 5 o'clock. Join Dan Gladden and I as we kick that one off, and then once the game ends, 30 minutes after first pitch, Twins and Guardians right here on your home for Twins Baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
Local farmers. Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company in Fergus Falls currently has open slots and accepting animals. They take the hassle out of processing and butchering your livestock. From custom cuts to expert butchering, they handle it all with care and precision. Serving Fergus Falls and the Lakes area, they're proud to support local farmers like you. Call or visit Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company today to schedule your meat processing. Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company, where quality meets tradition on Highway 210 East.
You never quite know when the next storm is going to strike. And all it takes is for a little hail to ruin a perfect crop. But you can protect yourself with a hail insurance policy through Ag Country Farm Credit Services. The insurance professionals at Ag Country can help you customize a policy that will fit your farming operation. Protect your revenue today by contacting your local Ag Country office. Ag Country. Focused on ag. Focused on you.
Markets this hour brought to you by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a customer-owned cooperative.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Dickerman with Market Update on the Red River Farm Network. Grain markets higher, led by wheat with double-digit gains. Van On and Company's Christy Van On Chiseth said some of this is weather-related.
But now we're coming into kind of, getting wet in some areas that have had problems planting, cooler temperatures, And I think that, we've digested the fact that we got this crop in for the most part, 70%, 80% of ideal conditions, and then moving forward. And I think moving forward, what you're going to rely on is seasonals. And then also, to be honest, the fundamentals of corn and soybeans aren't as negative as people thought. News yesterday to want to be part of a larger trade with the U.S. that you could come in here and see them purchase some of our grain. So I think that's where the market's getting a little bit of premium built into it as well. So overall, it's nice to see these markets kind of try to round out a bottom. Wheat is looking very good on the chart to round out that bottom, and impressive how far we've rallied in the last week off the lows.
Livestock mixed, cattle higher, hogs lower.
It's kind of been slow and steady, seeing if we can get back to those highs here for the cattle markets. We're still about $5 off those highs for live cattle. And then when you look at the feeder cattle, still about $9 off the highs there, but not all that far off. So you've kind of made your initial dip, and now you're slowly trying to get back there, and we'll see if we're able to. As far as it goes for hogs, I think some of this just has to do with profit taking. We were up against the parabolic. We kind of were struggling against it, and now we're right at the VPOC. So we'll see where that goes today.
Reporting agriculture's business, this is the Red River Farm Network.
Here's the latest from CHS Ag Services. CHS Ag Services Hazel location sales agronomist Stephen Whalen is with us.
Early seeded wheat is really taken off and getting close to spraying. I know some guys already have sprayed some. Just want to make sure everyone's spraying weeds when they're small and we can actually handle them. Make sure you're out there scouting and seeing what kind of chemicals you need to be spraying, whether it's a Husky Complete or Corteva product like LiDAR Mat. And then like with Talinor and Everest, make sure we're not throwing in any nitrogen on the Talinor to keep away from some of that burn.
Are you seeing quite a bit of weed pressure?
Some of the winter annuals have really came through this winter and were pretty prevalent. Oxtails or anything yet, but they should really turn them around and poking through.
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, right away, hear how the legislative session ended, then the plan to keep the lights on by July 1st. Hopefully we'll be joined by some of those making it happen. Then hear how the Trump-Putin phone call went on Monday. Another perfect, nothing wrong with it call. Ahem. At 4:06, hear the West Side Liquor Wine Line with Jeff Anderson. Then hear fellow Ox listeners' wines of the week. See you for Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on KBRF.
What's the Ox say?
Hey, Twins fans, it's Chris Atterbury. Last night's ball game was suspended due to the inclement weather in the Twin Cities, but we're going to play, well, not two, but a game and a half tonight. We will resume the suspended ball game at 5:10 today. We'll be on the air at 5 o'clock. Join Dan Gladden and I as we kick that one off, and then once the game ends, 30 minutes after first pitch, Twins and Guardians right here on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
A weather system is set to move into the region beginning tomorrow.
Whether it's happening in the farm field or the halls of Congress, we deliver the information that impacts you and your business. We're the Red River Farm Network, and we're reporting agriculture's business.
Minneapolis wheat July, we're up 11 cents, 5.96.5. September's up 10 3/4, 6.09.5. Chicago July, we're up 17 1/4, 5.46 1/4. Kansas City July's up 15 cents, 5.37 3/4. July corn is up 4.5 at 4.51 3/4. December is up 5.5, 4.47 1/4. July soybeans up 1 3/4, 10.52 1/2. November up 3 3/4, 10.40 3/4. June live cattle down 20 cents, 212.77. The August feeders down 60 cents at 296.85. And June lean hogs down 25 cents at 99. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Interested in saving money and energy? Otter Tail Power Company makes it easy. Right now, get instant savings on LED bulbs at participating Minnesota stores. No paperwork required. LEDs use 75% less energy and last up to 20 times longer than traditional bulbs. Look for the Otter Tail Power sticker on store shelves and start saving today. Visit otpco.com/LED to find a store near you.
Summer weather can change quickly, and that's why you can count on News Talk 1250 KBRF and the Fergus Now app for up-to-date weather coverage. We love hearing from you and want to see your severe weather photos, whether it's hail, storm damage, threatening clouds, whatever it might be. To submit your summer severe weather photos, go to kbrfradio.com, then to Weather Spotter page located on the Weather tab. Summer severe weather coverage on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure is sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. Going through today through pretty much off and on until Wednesday night. A little bit of rain. So 46 today's high, 37 tonight's low, 48 for tomorrow, 39 for tomorrow night's low, 63 for Thursday's high, 41 for Thursday night's low. 62 kicking off the Memorial Day weekend, and then we'll have 64 on Saturday, Sunday up around 65 and 66 on Memorial Day. All weekend long, a possibility of still seeing some more rain, Barry.
Okay, well, have we had enough rain so anyone gets to have like a little campfire this weekend, or?
Maybe.
Maybe up in the air still, huh?
Yeah.
Got to wait for the green light. I don't think were we under a ban?
I don't remember if we were under a ban.
If we weren't, we probably should have been.
We were under red flag.
Yeah, right.
That I know. I don't know about straight up
I would assume would go away now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe you'll get to roast a marshmallow or two. And it sounds like by the overnight low temperatures, that campfire would feel pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be chilly overnight still. Pretty typical for Minnesota and the Memorial Day holiday. I mean, it's very rare that we have a gorgeous holiday.
We never have a gorgeous holiday.
And we could look this up, I suppose, but I kind of feel like last year was beautiful.
It might have been.
Like we had a nice Memorial Day weekend, but I could be wrong on that. Memory serves, not so good sometimes. All right. 1/3 of Americans said that they will travel with the main reason for travel being food. So I can think of a lot of places I would travel for. Yeah. I mean, that food would definitely be like front and center, like Italy, Greece. Talking travel, big travel. Or even if you go down south.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to try some of the things that are Southern cuisine, that sort of thing. Just like, we could serve up the hot dish if they come and see us.
I had to laugh. One of the times we were down in Florida, I forgot where we were, and Jen's order came with grits. And I'm like, oh, sweet grits. I love grits. And
I don't think I've ever had them.
She tried them, and she's like, this is not for me. I'm like, pass it on down.
Is it a grain? Is it rice, or what is it?
I think it's corn.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of made into like a little porridge type thing.
Okay.
And Jen
doesn't sound great, but
Jen did not understand the key item you need to add to your grits, and that is a little maple syrup.
Oh.
Put a little dab of maple syrup on there.
Everything's better with maple syrup.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. But I got a lot of family down south, so I spent a lot of time when I was younger down south, so I've had grits and all that stuff.
I don't think I've ever tried grits.
Oh, I like
it. And I spent some time in the South, but I don't know that that's...
Let's look it up. What is
something?
Grits?
Yeah, what is grits? I mean, would you say it's like the consistency of kind of like oatmeal, kind of?
Yeah.
Or?
It's a type of porridge made from coarsely ground corn.
Okay. And does it taste like corn?
Yeah, I mean, it tastes kind of like, not quite like oatmeal, but yeah, it's
sort of boring.
It's got its own taste.
But they serve it like a side dish, right?
Yeah.
Almost like you'd eat like a vegetable or a potato or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jen had like an egg thing.
But is it only a morning thing?
No, that was in the evening we had
okay.
that.
All right.
I mean, people eat it. I mean, it's like pancakes. People eat it for dinner.
I guess. I'm always up for a pancake.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds really good about now. But anyway, they say that so many people have crossed state lines. They have traveled out of the country for one specific reason, and that is food. So a lot of people say that when they travel, they bring extra, or they leave extra room in their suitcase to bring home snacks and,
Hey, I brought home a key lime pie from Cocoa Beach.
I remember that, and that was pretty interesting to get through security with a key lime pie.
That was hilarious.
But didn't somebody ask you, well, what kind is it? And when you said key lime, they're like, oh, bring it on in.
Well, it was funny. I put my backpack on this scanner, and I told the guy that was watching everything, I'm like, hey, just kind of a heads up, there's a key lime pie in there. And so he looks over to the next guy as my bag gets closer to the scanner, and he goes, hey, there's a pie in there. He goes, what kind?
What kind?
He goes, apparently key lime. The guy goes, nice.
Nice. Okay, well, see, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I just flat out said, hey, you're going to see some tin, and you're going to see some weirdness in that bag. It's a key lime pie.
Okay. Wow, I wouldn't have thought of trying to get a pie home. I mean, it's hard enough to get like a hat or something.
Drove from Cocoa Beach to Orlando flight to Charlotte, all around the Charlotte airport, and then from Charlotte to Minneapolis.
So this
and Minneapolis
was a carry-on.
Yeah, it was in my personal item, which was a backpack.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So you had to carry your backpack like this?
No, I put it at the bottom.
Okay. All right.
And so I was able to carry it upright, but I mean, I made it kind of interesting for...
I can't think of anything that I've like traveled and tried to take home. Fruit, maybe. We've tried to take home fruit from... I remember as a kid trying to take home oranges and grapefruits from Florida. They don't really love when you travel with their fruit.
No, and then I traveled from Jamaica with some Jamaican rum. I brought that back, which I found ironic because I found the exact same stuff in our liquor store for about $5 a bottle cheaper than what I paid for it in Jamaica.
Oh boy, isn't that how it goes?
Yeah.
But sometimes you find a snack or, like chocolate or, I don't know. I know we had a grandson had friends in Norway from the Norwegian students that come to Hillcrest.
Yep.
So he made a couple of trips over to Norway, and he always brought back this Norwegian chocolate. And when the Norskies come, they always bring this chocolate because everyone loves it. And I can't think of the name of it, but if you've been to Norway, I know you know what I'm talking about because it's the most fabulous chocolate ever. It's, and it's not always easy to travel with because,
it melts.
It melts, yeah. But it's the best chocolate. I have to reach out to the Norwegians before they come next year for Hillcrest to make sure they bring a little bit of that along with them.
The Bergen, Norway chocolate stores are going to be a little bit of a run before.
Yes, it's the best chocolate. Let's see. Okay, so here's a story about a wildlife care worker, or care workers actually, in California that suited up to take care of a 2-month-old black bear cub. The San Diego Humane Society found the lost cub on April 12th and were unable to find its mother. However, to make the bear cub feel a little more comfortable, employees put on bear costumes and mimicked the mama bear behavior. This will also help prevent the bear from bonding with humans so that their hope is to return to the wild one day, of course. Humane Society said he's receiving expert medical care and, oh boy, very good dedication. I read it. I didn't make it up. I didn't say it. Bad dad joke, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what else. I thought there was another interesting. Okay, here is a kid, a teenager, and he has been accused of cashing over $545,000 in fake checks. And he may have used some of those fraudulent funds to pay for his defense. Oh boy. Police in Columbus, Georgia say that William Chadwick Jones opened a business account with Synovus Bank, depositing 5 fake checks via mobile deposit, and then moved these funds through wire transfers and platforms like Zelle, which is a payment, kind of in case you don't know what that is. Some of this money may have been used to pay a lawyer who who was helping the teenager with a previous fraud case. So this kid is, he's tried this before. He was driving a Porsche when he was apprehended by police, so maybe spent a few bucks on that too.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's going to be spending a little time in jail.
$545,000 in fake checks. I suppose it took some time, though, if he mobile deposited and then did some wire transferring and, moved it through several different ways. It took a little while to catch up, but you know what?
It always
the banking
does.
system's always going to get you.
He probably could have got away with that 10, 15 years ago and would be able to hide it, but now everything's got a digital fingerprint.
Right, for sure. Anyway, yeah, $545,000. I guess when you get greedy, you get greedy.
Go big or go home.
Oh, and here is a story I saw on, I think I saw it on Facebook this morning. And you know how you go to a store and if you use $100 bill, they take that marker and they go across the check. And by doing that, they can tell if the bill is fraudulent or real.
Yep.
Well, anyway, so this guy shows up, and I forget where he was. It was like a Home Depot or something. Not here. But anyway, he handed the cashier a $100 bill. She laid it down, and she took a Sharpie and drew a line across it.
Yeah.
And then...
I heard about this.
Yeah. And then she said, "Oh, this is fake." And he said, "Really?" Handed her another one. She did the same thing. She said, "This one is fake too." He said, "Let me see what you're using to draw on those $100 bills. Are you using a Sharpie?" She said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "Oh my goodness, we are doomed as a society if this is what we have up and coming to take care of us."
Yeah, she got a little snotty and was like, "We can get the police involved." And he's like, "Call them."
Yeah, absolutely, call them. Yeah, she got a little kind of mad at him for being miffed,
when she's stupid and not using the
using a
bill
Sharpie,
checker, but using a Sharpie.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. So we do have some not so bright people.
They're dumb among us.
Yeah, I guess so. Here is someone in a control tower. This is at O'Hare in Chicago. Spotted a strange object in a danger zone. A DoorDash driver.
Oh.
The delivery gig worker reportedly accidentally drove into an unauthorized secured area and went for miles in restricted spaces.
Well, thankfully they caught him right away.
Oh my goodness. He may have even crossed runways, they think. Fortunately, nobody was injured and no charges are being filed because it looks like the driver was really just trying to get the food to the right place. So I don't know if there was somebody on a flight someplace. I don't know. Anyway, it's unclear if the meal eventually made it to the intended final destination. But yeah, the DoorDash driver on the tarmac.
Wow.
At O'Hare. Scary place to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, speaking of airports, New Jersey had a 2-minute outage again today. Yeah. So, good luck if you are traveling by air, and certainly if you are going anywhere near New Jersey. I think it's called Liberty. Yeah, it sounds like it is just mayhem there. I don't know why all of a sudden this is an issue. I mean, did the system just go down? I mean,
going on before and all of a sudden now we're talking about it?
I don't know. But of course, the new transportation secretary is saying we need to replace this with a state-of-the-art system immediately.
Yeah.
I keep hearing that, and clearly I know it's a big job, and it would be, and I think there have been some efforts to begin that changeover. It just seems like one of those things that you don't let particularly get out of date.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we got to where we are today, but boy, poor New Jersey. They're taking it because every day there's an incident, it feels like. So more delayed flights. I think United, that's their hub. And they had 48 or something like that. I'm talking off the top of my head here. 48 flights in and out of that airport every day, and now they are down to, I think, something like 35. So just trying to
lessen the load.
Yeah, lessen the load and not make it so hard. But anyway, so if you are traveling by by plane this holiday weekend, I wish you the best of luck. All right, the National Hockey Association announces that the Stanley Pup will return with 32 adoptable dogs. It's an initiative by the National Hockey League set to return in 2025, featuring 22 adoptable dogs. I like this idea. It's called the Stanley Pup instead of the Stanley Cup, of course. Broadcast dates are June 6th on True TV in the U.S., June 7th on Sportsnet in Canada, and June 8th on the NHL Network and NHL's digital platforms. This year's competition will showcase an adoptable dog representing each of the 32 league teams, all local to their respective areas. Commentators will be joined by celebrities and NHL players. And anyway, the Stanley Cup Finals will occur in June following the 21st Annual Puppy Bowl, which coincided with the Super Bowl, but this is the Stanley Pup. So, and all those dogs then will find their forever homes.
Hopefully, yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's good. All right, are you up for a couple of questions?
Oh, always.
These have to do with Roman numerals, and I'm glad I'm the one asking you.
I am not good with Roman numerals.
Me neither. Yeah, if it gets above, 10 or 12, I'm out. Anyway, what does the Roman numeral C represent?
100.
Yep, you got it. What digit does not exist in the Roman numerals?
What digit doesn't exist?
Right.
A 0?
Yeah. Good guess.
Oh, nice.
I would have guessed 0 too, because we've never seen anything like that.
No, because 10 is X.
Right. Yeah.
All the whole number.
So how do you do? Yeah, I guess.
Do you do 0? I don't know.
I guess you don't. You start with 1 in Roman numerals. That's how it is. Do you like Nutella? I'm really changing gears here. I don't either. Don't like it at all.
I don't like hazelnut. So.
Oh, yeah, it's like a peanut butter spread, but it's hazelnut.
Yeah.
And people put it on toast. That does not sound good to me.
Yeah. No.
Like peanut butter. No. I mean, peanut butter is great. But to put chocolate, I don't love, I am not a fan of morning stuff like muffins that have chocolate chips in them. Nope. I don't need chocolate with my morning stuff.
I just want my English muffin to be an English muffin. I throw a little butter on it. If I want to jazz it up, I'll throw honey on it.
Okay, there you go. Well, anyway, Nutella is going to release a new flavor. So, would you try this? For the first time in 60 years, Nutella is releasing a new flavor. It is called Nutella Peanut, and will be hitting shelves about a year from now.
I might do that because it'd be peanut instead of hazelnut.
It'd be more like peanut butter, maybe.
Yeah, chocolatey peanut butter.
Yeah. The new variety, which took 5 years to create, is said to combine the distinctive creaminess of Nutella cocoa hazelnut spread with the delicious taste of roasted peanuts. So it sounds like it's going to be a combo of the two.
Oh, then maybe not.
Then you're out?
Yeah.
You don't like hazelnut, huh?
I do not like hazelnut.
Oh, man. There's so many of the good things that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I love hazelnut. In fact, if I ever add flavor to anything, like yesterday, my granddaughter and I were driving through to grab a coffee, and I got an iced latte, and I don't like them sweet, so I always ask for a splash of hazelnut. And whoever made this one was just right. I feel like the Three Bears.
Yeah, I never had hazelnut to my coffee.
Once in a while, especially if it's 2 o'clock, and I'm thinking, I haven't had lunch yet. I'm kind of hungry. I could have a cup of coffee with a little tiny, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of hazelnut in there, and it would satisfy me.
Okay.
It's sort of just a treat, and it makes me not hungry anymore.
Well,
so,
if that's what works, it works.
If that's what works, okay. I do have a feel-good. I saw a really cute story that I want to make sure we get on the air today. Here we go. It is the owner of a California dry cleaner is helping unemployed customers in need by giving away his services for free. His name is Ali, and he has a cleaning and alteration service, and he pays it forward by offering cleaning and pressing of clothes for free if the customer is going on a job interview.
Oh, nice.
I think it will definitely give them some hope that the community that they live in cares about them, and will give them, a little boost to feel good about going into that job interview. He said he himself is an immigrant from Iran who started Lux Cleaners when he was unable to find work, and now he wants to pay it forward to all the people that have been so good to him. So there you have it.
That's a good
feel-good story.
That is a good one.
To wrap things up. So, all right, well, that's going to do it on a Tuesday. Grab your umbrella today. Thanks for joining us. Our show today and every day is brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great day.